welcome back everybody to another edition of Hop In. This is issue 12, and I'm your host Kev. Today we'll try something a little bit more different. We got 4 comic books we're going to be talking about today, so why not just hop on in. And today's first comic book we'll be talking about, Batwoman. Now, if anybody's been following DC Rebirth, especially the Batman family, we should already be, used to them and know them by now. If not, that's cool. Go to your local comic book store and talk to your comic book store owner and see what you can do about that to up your knowledge on Batman and his family. Now, Batwoman just wrapped up the beginning story arc of her first series and is now in her second story arc with issue 6. Now, in the first issue of Batwoman, at the end of the comic, she's coming back to Gotham to kill Batman. And I'm sitting here like, why are you trying to kill Batman? He's Batman. Why? I thought you guys were like, 2 peas in a pod, so to speak. But come to find out, in issue 6, we get a little background story of what's going on. And it's all going to tie into Detective Comics issue 969 that is going to be coming out in November, they say. So that tie-in is going to be amazing because what happens is Tim Drake supposedly has been dead. Now this is issues back in Detective Comics, so definitely make sure you go to your local comic store and go pick it up. And if you guys want to know what issues I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, but continue on. She comes back to Gotham, I want to say about, I guess this takes place probably 15-20 years into the future after Tim Drake has came back, and Tim Drake has apparently killed Batman and has Gotham split up into 2 different zones. We got the zone where he's controlling, and then a zone where he doesn't want anybody crossing the border to come over. And as long as they stick to their border, everything's cool and everything's fine. She's not liking that order, and pretty much everybody's not liking that order of how Gotham's being run, and put Batman to shame if Bruce Wayne was still alive, which would be a shocking twist, which I think might lead into Batman Metal. So all this is collecting around, even though it's a Batman comic book, a Batman Metal comic book, and a detective comic book, I think they're all going to merge in together, and we just getting 2 or 3 different views of what's going on. So, as you know, if you've been following into Hop In issue, I would like to give you guys enough juice to go to your local comic book store and go pick it up, and I'll also give you the price. And the price for this is $3.99. I don't know why Batwoman costs that much, but that's how much a comic book is. It's $3.99. It's a great, excellent read. I would also like for you guys to go pick up her previous issues, which might be a trade back now, but I can't see how it is because they just wrapped up issue 5, which kind of, ends that story arc. So those issues will also be in another issue to Hop In if you would like it to be, but we're going to continue on over to the next. Alright, next up we'll be talking about Blue Beetle. Now, a lot of people might not know that Blue Beetle's comic book actually exists. It's actually doing well. It's 12 issues in, so definitely go check out my man Blue Beetle. He might not get enough respect as much as I would like for him to get, so please go check out Blue Beetle. Now, the issue that I want to talk about is issue 12. Now, he just wrapped up a story arc that ended not too long ago. It was a great comic story arc, so definitely go check it out. But this story arc is a beginning new one, and that's issue 12. And this is when Batman comes to El Paso after a conflict has happened with him, which you'll know in the previous issues when you pick it up. And Blue Beetle's being trained by Ted Cord, and Batman is like, I don't know, you got this kid out here fighting, doing all these impossible things out here, and he's just a kid, why do you have him out here? And Ted Cord is like, I know you're not talking, like, you had how many Robins out there that are now adults but weren't adults when they were Robins? So it was kind of like a nice little go back and forth between Ted and the original Blue Beetle and Batman. But now the new Blue Beetle, a lot of guys might know him from the Injustice game, Injustice 2 actually, and probably if you watched Young Justice, he was also in Young Justice the second season. So Jamie Reyes is known now, but I don't think everybody knows that his comic books is out. I think everybody should definitely go give it a check out. Now, the story with inside the story is still going on with Jamie's best friend's aunt, who's an evil villain, and it's crazy to actually try to get into without giving away too much. So I definitely want you guys to go to your local comic store and also pick up Blue Beetle issue 12. Now also pick up the previous issues. I know he has a trade that's out because the second story arc just wrapped up, so he should already have a first story arc that's already out. Now Blue Beetle, just like Batwoman, is $3.99. Now, there's only a few comic books that are $3.99 that comes out of DC, and you'll rarely ever see a comic book that's $4.99, and that's mainly the the big hitter storylines that they're really trying to push out there. So definitely go check out Blue Beetle in your local comic book store as well. You will not be disappointed. His story arc has been great from the beginning. So definitely go pick up his trade back, which is out right now. I think that might cost you about 15, probably 14, after tax. So yeah, definitely go check out Blue Beetle. Up next, we'll be staying in DC, and we'll be talking about Injustice. Alright, up next is Injustice 2. Now, I unfortunately was not able to go to the GameStop and go pick up this game, but I am so dreading it because I'm seeing all these cool stories that's out on YouTube by other YouTubers who are obviously playing the game, and it's awesome. The graphics on it is awesome. The storyline for it has just stepped up into another level. So if you are like me, who weren't able to go to the GameStop or wherever game store that you go to, Walmart, Target, whoever, and you weren't able to pick up Injustice 2, don't worry, because there is a comic book form of Injustice. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, or maybe you did realize it. Some people might not, I don't know. But sometimes comic books or video games or certain characters might be so good enough that they make their own comic book series. So, all that to say is, when Injustice, the first game, came out, eventually after the whole story arc was done, then they came out with the comic books for it, and that's led all the way up to Underground or Injustice Grounded. And then now, because the second game is out, they also have the story arc out in the comic book form. So I've been collecting this, but I've been so far behind on actually not being able to get the video game and also reading it back. But I just caught up. There's 9 issues out now. I've read the previous issues 1 through 4, and now this is I picked up at 5 all the way up to 9. So I've caught up. And in case you guys don't feel like reading the comic book, I'm pretty sure you can find a YouTuber on YouTube who has video clips of the game. They probably played it, so it might be like 2 hours or so. But if you like to have the comic book form, read it, definitely go check it out. Now, pretty much this comes in after Batman has captured Superman and got him locked up, and all the other villains that were, that was in that big war. If you played the first game, they have them locked up. Now, the second story is pretty much introducing Kara for the first time to the game, and we get a couple of people here and there. And as I mentioned, Blue Beetle is in this video game as well, and he's also in the comic books. Now, issue 5 picks up where Ted Kord, who is training Jamie Reyes, is, I don't want to give it away, but if you've already watched the video game on YouTube or whatever, unfortunately he dies. Sorry, little spoiler. Unfortunately he dies. But it continues on, and we get a couple of cool people in the video game that come out, or I'm sorry, in the comic book that comes out, like Plastic Man, who is pretty much DC's version of, or the DC version of Mr. Marvel, or sorry, Mr. Fantastic from Marvel. Um, but it's two different. He can stretch, and he has a son, and he used that to go in and get the children of Green Arrow and Black Canary, son, and also I don't know why his name slips my mind, but he's about to have a TV show out on CW. Uh, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. I can't think of his name, but for those who are gonna be watching his TV show that's coming out on CW, he does with electricity. He's a teacher. He's a black man. I'm so disappointed in myself. But yes, they capture his children too. Um. Anyway, they go. This is about like issues 8 and 9. So I skipped 5 and 7, but all store, still good reads. Now you can pick up issues 1 through 9 now. They're $2.99 plus tax. Each comic book. I don't know if the trade is already out. I think they're gonna hold off because it's going off the video game, and it's not. And then the next story arc after this won't be what the video game's done now. So they probably already working on Injustice 3 or whatever. But it's pretty much just introducing Kara Zor-El, or Kara, not Zor-El, Kara, Supergirl. So definitely wouldn't be wasting your time when you go pick up this comic book. Like I said, it's only $2.99. So please go to your local comic book store and check it out. Alright, so next up we'll be talking about Mace Windu. It's a Star Wars issue. It won't probably last long because they're just pretty much telling his side of the story, or behind his, through his eyes. How the war pretty much began and the conflicts that might occur to them, because you gotta remember the Jedi are peacekeepers. They're not warriors. They're not generals. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to get into fights unless it's to cause peace. And so this first issue marks the beginning of something brand new that I just cannot wait to read it. Now obviously it's probably going to lead up to the moment where Anakin cuts off his hands and Palpatine sends him out the window, and maybe this is just me speculating, but maybe we might be able to see a little bit more, probably like what happened to him after when he landed. Maybe that might happen. I mean, that would be cool, but if they're not, it's just telling pretty much what happened to the battle after he and the rest of the other Jedi's came to save Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin off that planet with the bugs. I'm a Star Wars fan. I just don't know the names of the worlds. So to be honest with you, I'm a fan, and if you are a huge fan, I'm like, oh, you're not a fan because you don't really. No, I'm a fan enough to, be able to tell you who's the son of and daughter of whoever, and whatnot. But I can't give you the planets. First of all, they're made up planets. I can't pronounce them to begin with anyway. So, all of that. Now, as you can see, this is some. Alright, so you guys, that wraps up this issue of Hop In. I just want to give you a quick bit update. I was able to make that purchase on that thing I was talking to you guys about on the updated version I did for Kev's Weekly Pool, I think part 5. So yeah, I think I'm gonna title it Unboxing Intunes, or Intunes Unboxings. You guys let me know in the comment sections down below. If you don't, if I don't see any comments in the comment sections down below on the name, then I'm gonna just have to make up the name, and I think I'm gonna go towards Unboxing Intunes. You guys will not be disappointed, and you will be happy. Curly hair, my daughter. Again, if you guys watch part 6, you know who she is. My silly little chub mook mook all day baby, Annabelle.
Have makeups.
have makeups. Alright, well, we're going to end this video. I've been Kev, you've been you. Hopefully you have gone to the comic book store and picked up all the previous issues of comic books that I